Between May 31st and June 1st of 1921, Tulsa's prosperous African-American community known as Black Wall Street fell victim to one of the nation's most violent racial incidents. It was sparked by an encounter in an elevator between a black man and a white woman. Now, as we've told you, more than 1,200 homes and businesses were destroyed. Hundreds of people were killed and their bodies were dumped in mass graves. Tonight, reporter Danya Bacchus explores more of what happened 100 years ago on Black Wall Street and her family connection.
On May 31st, 1921, a single gunshot turned into a massacre on Tulsa's Greenwood Avenue.
You remember getting shot at when you ran across the street?
Oh yeah, you could hear bullets singing down the street.
Historian Scott Ellsworth learned what happened to my family during a 1978 interview with my great-grandfather W.D., who was 16 at the time of the massacre. Armed, my great-great-grandfather tried to protect his wife Lula, son W.D., and their home.
John Williams and his son W.D., they're in this second floor window, and as the light of dawn starts to come up, this wall of whites start coming this way. They realize it's time, we've got to go.
From a high-grain elevator, a machine gun fired shots. Planes flew overhead, Ellsworth says, dropping explosives. In a matter of hours, Tulsa's Black Wall Street was demolished. More than 1,000 homes and businesses looted and burned to the ground. Pictures sold as postcards show the brutal aftermath. Bodies lined the streets. Historians believe hundreds were killed, the dead dumped in mass graves. Hundreds of black people were rounded up and taken to internment camps by deputized white men. W.D. was one of the prisoners.
Get on round. Hold your hands up. So he marched me around the Greenwood Eastern. There were about 50 more blacks.
He was separated from his parents in the chaos.
I was afraid outside because I saw him shoot a man right on the steps.
He paints such a vivid picture.
He does. How did you feel?
I don't even know if I have the right words to describe the emotion, because I think you just immediately think about the fear that, people are feeling in that moment. And then I think as a mother to think about trying to protect my child. Reading about it is one thing, but I think when you actually hear it, and you hear it from someone who you know is a part of your family, it impacts you differently.
When black people returned to Greenwood, they found a neighborhood burned to ash. But Tulsa would soon learn the massacre didn't kill the Greenwood spirit. And to this day, the fight to rebuild continues. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
On Monday night, Gayle King will host a CBS News special, Tulsa 1921, An American Tragedy. It follows more stories like this one. The primetime special airs at 9 right here on Channel 7 on Monday.